Hey, what's going on? This is Shaun of the Dead. I'm just doing the next step of the two-step video response back from some comments I got from ants. It's a gentleman that lives in the Netherlands. He wrote back to me on my "What would you do in a zombie apocalypse? Bug in or bug out?" That was the question. Um, his answer was, "Love your videos. You made me realize something. Sorry, realize something. Bugging out is almost going to be a suicide for me. I live in the Netherlands. Wildlife and guns are very rare here. My country is one of the most dense countries in the world. I don't have a lot of options. I live on a terrace in a terrace house. Um, Only plus is I live on a street that is full of elderly people, and I'm only 26. My only options is to join a group or scavenge houses for canned food and bottled water. Do I have any suggestions?" Yes, I do. Um, First of all, glean all the information you can from these elderly people. With years comes, wisdom, and they can teach you how to can food. They may have canned food. They may show you where a plethora of stuff is that's hidden that nobody would even know to think, even consider to look at. Um, Not only that, you should do a couple things like get some baby wipes. This was like $1. Get some baby wipes. Get a package, a couple packages of paper towels, packages of paper plates and Dixie cups. Get yourself a little mess kit, and get yourself about a month's worth of food and water, and set it back to the side. And get yourself a little charcoal stove or something. Or if you get a propane stove, make sure it can sustain you for at least a month of 3 to 4 times being used a day. Three cooked meals, and potentially just boiling water once a day to use for sterilization of your utensils, for cleaning yourself, whatever. And keep that on hand. Stick it in a corner somewhere and forget you have it. Just make sure you rotate your stock as the dates require. Outside of that, you can save on a lot of your water usage by using baby wipes throughout the days. You can go 2 or 3 days without a shower by using baby wipes to wash your essential areas and to keep yourself clean. And then you can shower like every third day. I had an aunt and uncle that were truck drivers, and sometimes they had to drive over the open road, and they had so a certain amount of time to get there. So one would sleep, the other one would drive, and then they would just rotate, literally stop into fuel, use the restroom, grab a quick bite, and get back on the road, and that was it. And they had to get there. Well, they would utilize the baby wipes to keep themselves clean and hygienic as they were all going on the open road. So they'd take off their dirty clothes, they would clean themselves, they'd put their dirty clothes away and clean up, put on fresh clothes, and bam, they were clean. So and then whenever they got a chance, they drop off that load. Then they would hit one of the truck stops that had showers, and they actually get a good shower, do their laundry, and then they continue back on to work again. So baby wipes are a really, really good thing. They keep babies clean. They keep you clean. And that's just a small essential, since you're going to be bugging in now, since you've changed your plan. Another thing is, okay, you've already got your slingshot. We've already discussed that. Now you have your month's worth of food, water, and personal hygiene stuff, and a way to boil any freeze-dried food to reconstitute it, or cook any canned goods that you may have, or whatever. You have that now, so you've got your month worth of preps. And I say a month because that should be sufficient. Now, some of these old timers might be old war dogs. They may have been back in some war. So if they were back in some war times, you never know. Old grandpa down the street, he may have a gun inside of his house somewhere, just chilling. He may have a couple hundred rounds of ammo for it. That's not a lot, but that's something. And now you know you have access to a firearm, and somewhere that it can tell you how to use it. And if he's military, he's going to be able to teach you some things and get you on a regimen of some stuff that you can start to do to try to think like military-minded people. Now, I'm sure that you have a standing military force in the Netherlands, and I'm sure that they're going to go to martial law if zombies attack. And once they realize that that containment's not going to be able to be done, and they see that containment's broke free, then they're going to be roving packs of marauders themselves, and they're going to start trying to clear off pockets, take people to a concentration camp, and then they're going to try to, at some point, as things progress, cordon off an area and have people working and tilling in fields and stuff, and have small pocket communities that will grow the food and harvest and all that, and the military will eat and protect the populace from zombies, but at the same time keep the populace under their thumb, because at that point it's a dictatorship run by an army versus, you know, a nation that's has its own inner workings. Oh, a big difference. And especially since you live in an unarmed nation, it's not easy for the people to rise up and revolt against the military force. If they come rolling in, your slingshot's going to bounce right off them. It's not going to do very much. You know, you shoot one with a bow, and then they unload, you know, across your balcony, and that's it. You know, so those are some things to just kind of keep in the back of your mind. But glean all the information you can. What if they know how to can food? It teaches you how to can food and preserve stuff. You find some apples, you find some oranges, you find some, you know, potatoes, something. Whatever it is you find, they might know. They may be able to show you what's good to eat, what's not good to eat, and things that you find you can and preserve for longer periods of time to get you through winter periods and things like that. So you can go out and start harvesting stuff whenever it's green, even if you're not growing it. And which brings me to my next point. I see you have ants. Well, earthworms are edible, and they give you some protein. You might want to look into different edible critters that you can keep in places in your home to have, you know, a regenerating source of food. So a little bit of, you know, sprinkle a little bit of meal on top of some dirt, and earthworms will eat the meal, and they'll continue to grow, and they'll do all this stuff. And, you know, you can pull earthworms out and eat a few of them. You can utilize those to hunt birds with. Be on the lookout for feral cats, because once cats are no longer domesticated and they're not getting fed, they're going to start eating birds. You use your slingshot to scare away the cats, or kill a cat and eat the cat if you have to, and make sure you can keep the birds around, so that way you can utilize, you know, snares or other tricks that I can go into at a later date on how to catch birds, and then you can utilize those birds for food. So I mean, there's several different things like that. One other thing I do recommend is keeping a bunch of multivitamins on hand. Malnutrition will set in at some point, especially if you have a very solitary diet of just one single type of food, because you've been scavenging apples from an apple tree across the street. Well, you've been eating apples for a week. You know, pretty soon you're gonna start to have some malnutrition going on. You know, and having a multivitamin in your system that kind of keeps putting the other stuff in there that you need. Even though you're eating one type of food, you're still getting nutrients that you're needing from other things. Even though you're not getting that food, you're getting the nutrients that you need. So just little things like that, since you're going to be bugging in, keep things on hand that you can utilize. Spears are great. Spears are a wonderful thing. You can set up high, spear down from above. Again, stabbing through the head, not necessarily a thing, but you know, if you can wound something to where it's no longer combat effective, you're still looking at a human body. So if you can sever some nerves, if you can jab the back of the spine and sever a spinal column and just clip a nerve, and it just, you know, paralyzes them from the neck down, makes them a quadriplegic zombie. Now you just have a stump down there going, and that's it. So you know, if you have an opportunity to make a boom off your terrace with a cinder block or a boat weight, like an anchor, that you could have on a crank, you could kick the button, use that weight to smash a zombie's head, crank it back up, swing it over to the next one, hit that drop button, let it crack another zombie's head, roll it back up again, just like you're fishing. Only thing you're doing is smashing zombies' heads. So there's several different things that you can have that are off in the corner that you can just assemble if something bad happens to kind of help your bug in plan. Once you thin out the herd in your generic, general area, then you can start to go ahead and scavenge what you can as quickly as you can. And if you can get your community involved with disaster preparedness, even if they're not into the zombie thing, disaster preparedness everyone should be into. So it's like, okay, why? Disaster preparedness, hey, you guys probably lived through the Great Depression, or their parents did, and they know about it, and they know how to stretch food and so on. So what you do is you use that knowledge from them, you get them set up for disaster preparedness, make sure that they have an extra month or so supply of their medications, they have their food, they have water, they have whatever things that they need. And so do you, so that way everyone there has got a month's worth of food and stuff. And if a zombie busts in one of their houses and you see that happen, well, now you know if it's only a week in, they still have 3 weeks of food and water in that house. Now you can go and utilize that food and water for yourself. And I do recommend trying to find another area that you can stash a lot of stuff that's not going to be easily found. That might be a difficult challenge. But if I'm a ravaged neighbor's house, if it's already been ransacked pretty well, or you've ransacked it, make it look completely tore up inside. Tear everything in that place up. Just shred the house real good. And hide stuff up in the attic or something. In a back corner somewhere. And throw a bunch of crap around in the attic, like the attic's been tossed. You can even leave the attic door down if you want, so that way it looks like it's been ransacked. And that way they won't even bother, like, this place has been ran over, and they go on about their business. And not even going in there to get your other preps that you're using in there, you're hiding in plain sight. Just another little food for thought. If you know how to do some, sheetrocking or whatever, you can make a false wall in your attic, and you can hide all your preps in your false wall, and open up your false wall, put more preps in there as you scavenge stuff, and actually, take your attic space and put like a small mattress or something, or an air mattress or something in there, and stay in there. So if someone comes in, your place looks vandalized, and you're up there in your little spot, and they check out your place. The only thing that they're going to find is, where somebody had been at one point. And you come down and do your thing, cook, eat, whatever. Be on the lookout for stuff. If somebody comes in, you go and hide in your little hidey hole. I mean that's just another option. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't know what your situation is. I can't visualize it because I can't see your neighborhood. Or else I could give you a lot more specifics on, okay, well, if you check out these houses here, you can go from here to here to here. You could travel this way. You should go to this area here. Fortify that area because it's going to be a safer location. Something that's going to have less entrances, less glass, things like that. But since I don't know your area, I can't give you too specific. But I can give you some good general broad strokes that could hopefully work out in most scenarios for you. And this is for zombie attack or any other natural disaster. Because natural disasters are wicked bad. So if something happens that puts food out of communication for a week, people get pretty rambunctious pretty quick. So if you and your in your immediate vicinity all have a month's worth of food and water, you all can just kind of kick back and relax and just try to protect your little area. So again, appreciate you watching. Everyone, please comment. As always, don't forget to subscribe. As always, be polite and stay on topic. I hope this helped you out, Ants. I'm looking forward to your response. Please give me a video response and tell me what you think. I'd like to do a little face-to-face with you and kind of get your input. You have a good one, man.